Hello, my name is Adora Sydney Jack, and you are welcome to Gender Agenda. Now, on today's episode, where we take on a question that sits at the very heart of Nigeria's political evolution, can merit truly thrive in a system long shaped by gatekeeping and godfatherism, or are we bold enough to imagine a future beyond it? Now, across Nigeria's democratic journey, the tension between competence and connection has remained persistent. Godfatherism, well, often defended as a structure for political mentorship and stability, it has also equally been criticized as a gatekeeping mechanism that restricts access, sidelines capacity and capable voices, and reinforces inequality, particularly for women and young people. Now, on the other hand, a merit-based system promises fairness, innovation, and accountability. But does Nigeria's current political and institutional landscape have the safeguards to sustain it? In a more mature democracies, we often see varying balances. Now, in countries like the United Kingdom, for instance, and Canada, political mentorship exists, but it is often tempered by strong institutions, transparent party systems, and internal democracy that allow merit to emerge more visibly than godfatherism. Meanwhile, in contexts similar to Nigeria, patronage networks still play a significant role in shaping political access. The question then becomes not just whether we can dismantle gatekeeping, but whether we can redesign it into something that enables rather than excludes. From a gender perspective, this conversation is even more urgent. Women navigating political spaces often face double jeopardy, double bind, needing both merit and access, and systems where gatekeeping disproportionately works. Against them, of course, we know that. So what would a reimagined system look like? One where mentorship does not silence merit, and where access does not come at the cost of independence. To unpack this, we are joined by an exceptional leader, Honorable Obiajulu Ugwu, Deputy Chief Whip of the Enugu State House of Assembly and Chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture. Her journey offers a grounded, lived perspective on leadership, representation, and the realities of navigating power structures while delivering impact. Now, as we have this conversation, is only befitting that we celebrate a woman who has consistently challenged systems and redefined the leadership in Nigeria. I'm talking about nobody else than Dr. Oby Ezekwesili. Fresh from her 63rd birthday, she stands as a powerful symbol of integrity, courage, and transformational leadership. In many ways, she represents the very question we are asking today. What happens when merit not only meets opportunity, but insists on reshaping the system itself? From all of us here on Gender Agenda, happy birthday, Madam Due Process, as she is fondly called. Now, today we ask the hard questions back here on the show. Is Nigeria really ready to move from gatekeeping to merit, or is coexistence between the two more realistic path forward? And that's the question a lot of people are asking, because we often see gatekeeping, godfatherism, and accessibility. Three conversations, three contexts in one breath. So let's get into it right after this break. But remember to follow us on all our social media platforms. Right there on your screen, you will see them scrolling, and reach out for partnership. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, thank you so much for staying with us. And of course, I did tell you that we'll be talking about the theme today, which is godfatherism, gatekeeping. Can they both coexist, especially when we're looking at creating access for more women? And I have with me today on the program, of course, Honorable Obiajulu Ugwu, who is also the Chairman Committee on Agriculture and the Deputy Chief Whip of the Enugu State Assembly. Now, it's great to see you, and good evening, Honorable. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Good evening, Adora. Good evening, Nigeria. And of course, happy birthday, Madam Due Process, Madam Dr. Oby Ezekwesili. Because I'm also on that happy to let you know.
Absolutely.
I wish her a very happy birthday.
Indeed. And talking about, I mean, this topic is really interesting because we're going to primary, so permit me to sit to get comfortable. Now, Princess, as you're fondly called, Honorable, when you hear the word politics, godfatherism, gatekeeping, access, you have run elections, you ran, and now you are in the State Assembly. You're going to run again. Primaries are in view. what does this mean to you as a politician? First, before we talk about being a woman.
Okay, so the network is a bit cranky, but I think if I heard you right, you asked when we talk about godfatherism, merit, politics.
Yes.
First, as a politician, what are my thoughts?
Absolutely.
So here is my thought. If we are talking about gatekeeping as godfatherism, as per the mentorship part of it, that's okay. And then when we talk about merits, that's another thing. Then when we talk about, combining, weighing merits and godfatherism in politics, Nigeria is way ahead, more on the godfatherism, more on the godfatherism parts, and which is why you see that most times we have people who are not, merit is about competence. So we see a lot of people who are not competent, but because of who they are and who they've been loyal to, they are given access into leadership spaces. So when you talk of politics, godfatherism, and merits, this is my thoughts, that Nigeria should grow far away from relevance, loyalty, just loyalty without competence to assess political leadership.
Okay, so I'm asking you this because I know you've run your elections and you have also participated in the primaries before. How was it for you in your first outing? How did godfatherism or access play a key role to your emergence? And I'm asking this because there are lots of women who are also going to be running in the 2027 elections, who are looking to get into the primaries, who are looking to have hand-holding, also who are struggling with hand-holding versus capacity. So how was it in the first time you tried to run and emerge? What role did these play for you as a woman?
Okay, now, so when you want to talk about the first time that I ran, you will be talking about 2019.
Absolutely.
And so there was no godfather, there was no mentor, there was no, so that's where we're coming from, 2019, the first time we ran. But
please go ahead. I can hear you.
Forward to the 2022 stroke 2023, there was access to mentorship. And that mentorship, there was the preparedness, waiting, and that met with the mentorship, which sometimes we call godfatherism. They both met together. And that is what produced people like me. So I would say that the second time running was a whole lot better because we had both aspects, both the mentorship and also the merits which produced people like me.
Okay, so I want you to be very honest in this conversation, come down to earth, because I know that there is the story behind the story. All these ones, this semantics you're speaking. So, because people are watching, women are watching, listening to you, hoping to be motivated and to be inspired, or to decide whether to run or not to run. Now, what were the challenges, Honorable Obiajulu? Because I know that, women struggle with finance, and usually when that happens, it seems as if the necessity for godfatherism becomes important. Because with someone who is hand-holding you, money doesn't really play a role at the party level. How do you advise women who are coming into the space for the first time, who are going into primaries? What should be their guideline? Where do they start from?
Okay, so no fruits comes forth without being planted first. hands. So there is need for the hand holding. So my advice, my encouragement to women who would want to run in the forthcoming elections is to look out for people who can hold their hands. It doesn't matter whether it is your gender or not your gender,
Okay.
because I got the support of the other gender that is not my gender. The sponsorship came from both ways, both my gender and the opposite gender. So I encourage women to look out for men and women who can hold their hands. It's not enough for you to be competent. It's not enough for you to have the merits. It's important that we look out for those who can hold our hands. And on the other side, those who have stayed in the space for long, we will also plead with them, some of them, to please look out for people, look out for young people, young women who have the capacity, who have the merits, and hold their hands and bring them into the fold.
Okay, so you're going into an election. I mean, you will have to go through the primaries again and emerge a second timer. And, you know, the pedigree keeps growing. Congratulations on that. But where does the party play a role here? And I'm asking this because I know that Enugu State is predominantly APC, and the governor seems to be gender sensitive. I mean, he has shown support for women initiatives. His cabinet is predominantly 45 to 50% women in appointive position. But in elective positions, we usually see a dynamics where, you know, the patriarchy, the boys' club, the loyalists are usually the men. And when it comes to choosing, sometimes we see that the governors often toe the line of having more males on their ticket than female. But how is Enugu State in terms of the body language of the political party APC towards making sure that women emerge?
Okay, thank you very much, Adora. I'm happy that you already know that Enugu State is predominantly, or is an APC state as at today. And so the body language in Enugu for the women is very positive. For all I know, the deputy chairman of the party in the state, just as is stipulated in the constitution of the APC, is a woman. Of course, you will know that it will not be business as usual when it comes to speaking to more women having tickets to run with. On the other hand, we also have a governor who you can confirm is very gender sensitive. And we are hopeful, we're trusting that we will have more women running in Enugu State, in Enugu State this time around. For instance, you can see that my governor was the first governor, actually, who endorsed and supported the reserve seats for women's bill. So when you see someone who went that far, what more are you expecting? My governor has been very, very supportive of women, of everything that has to do with gender sensitivity in Enugu. And I'm very, very sure that he's not ready to back down now. So I want to keep your fingers crossed and then look forward to Enugu State that will have more women running in elective positions.
Okay, running is one word, emergence is another, and winning is another. So let's just put that into facts, okay? I hear you loud and clear.
They are going to run, they are going to emerge, and they are going to win because, first of all, is the party making it easy, giving access to these women. So the party already have made provisions for women to come in more into the system. That is what we've been advocating for, you know. We've been asking for space for women to be in the party system, and this party has done that. I give it to the APC leadership at the national, and we didn't water it down in any way. We practicalized it, and so if we have started doing that at the party levels, I want us to remain really positive that something good will come out from Enugu. as is always the case.
Okay, just before we round up, I see that, there's a lot of energy around, the body language of women emerging. I mean, whether it's Enugu State or other states. And for us, that is still rhetoric. We see the energy behind the reserve seats at the 10th Parliament, whether it will be or not to be. Women's hands have fingers are crossed, hopeful that that bill will come to power. But let's look at the state, dynamics. Abia State, for instance, under His Excellency Alex Otti, did mention that he's looking forward to an election come 2027 where women will emerge, at least even if it is an extra 15 women or 10 women at the state assembly. And so he's looking about, about 5 to 10%. And that means that this is a thought towards policy redirection or maybe an executive quota, if you can use that, to see that women emerge. Do you think that state governors can begin to adopt this? Can we take this charity begins at home for inclusion from the state level to say for every state governor, let's say start from the southeast where you don't have female members, for instance, Imo and Abia, but your state has to, we could have more, say, with an executive order, can I have at least 5%, increase in women's emergence at the elective position? Do you think this policy of quota can start from the state, from the governor's desk?
Okay, honestly, Adora, I'm really grateful and I'm happy you brought this up. This morning when I was getting ready to go to work, to go celebrate the Workers' Day, I thought of something. Okay, so here the primaries are already here and very soon we'll be done with the primaries. What if the reserve seat bill doesn't pass? What happens? And in my head, I just said, oh, so if we back down, it's going to reduce the momentum. So how do we keep up the momentum? I in my head, discussing with myself, I said, okay, so even if it doesn't pass before this continues, we will need to continue with the advocacy. And when we continue with the advocacy, I'm going to tell you the other thing that I wanted, that I want to see it follow. So yes, executive order as a quota for a quota system in the states, if that bill is not passing, can go a long way in actually bringing in more women in the elective positions of the different states.
All right. I think I'll let you go on this note. I know that the primaries are coming and nomination forms, they've given people 50% off. I'm hopeful that more women will emerge to be able to come through the primaries, not just as aspirants. And I wish you all the best. We'll be following your progress and also checking in on you and hopefully amplifying all that you do. Thank you so much for always joining us on the show.
Thank you very much, Eldora. Thank you to the crew at AIT Gender Agenda. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Have a lovely day. All right, so you've listened to her. They would run, they will emerge, and they would win. And we hold maybe that thought for the governor of Enugu State. Fingers crossed. And maybe others can take you. But really listening to her, what she did say is that it is important for us to look at this conversation on quota, first of all, at the state level. What is the state government able to do with the state legislature to see more women emerge? Because, again, at the end of the day, it still falls on the desk of the state and the men at the helm, which are the governors. And that's the much we can take today. And again, like I always say, remember, take care of yourselves and each other. But without women, there is no democracy. My name is Adora Sydney Jack. See you again next week. Goodbye. All across the nations, all around the world.